What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of hopefully an ongoing series of videos called Game Collecting Tips. I'm going to try to do these videos like if I miss a weekend at the flea market and I don't have a Video Game Sellers episode to upload, or if I'm like out on tour and there's not a lot of options of things to film, I could do one of these. Basically, I'm just going to cover all different types of game-related things from my 25 years of game collecting and playing. And this first episode is going to be all about garage sales. Now, in these videos, I'm going to be talking about personal experiences that I've had, tips and ideas that have worked for me. I want to say first and foremost that these are not the end-all, be-all rules for game collecting. These are just things that I use, and hopefully you can get something from these videos and apply them to your own personal experiences. Now, I figured I should say that so I don't get a bunch of comments like, I can't do that in my area, or that doesn't happen around here. So hopefully you can leave comments of things that do work for you, and we can share ideas and talk back and forth. And as always, while you're down there, thumbs up the video. I figured I would start this series off with garage sales, because if you're new to the channel, a big aspect of my YouTube channel is garage sale related pickups and finds, that I get. Now, I've had a lot of good luck, and I have found quite a few awesome items that are video game related. And I put the tagline on a lot of videos like epic garage sale or insane finds at a garage sale because I am lucky to live in an area that is very populated and it has good weather all year round. I live in Florida. So garage sailing down here is normally pretty damn decent. It's very rare that I go out and come home with nothing. In fact, almost every trip I've ever gone on, I at least come home with a few items. So I want to say that I have a decent amount of experience going to garage sales on and off since I was in my mid-teens. So I figured I have a few things that you could maybe take from my experiences. I basically do most of my garage selling on Saturdays. I'll occasionally go out on a Friday if I've seen some really good sales posted, but I can't do it on Sundays because I'm filming episodes of Video Game Sellers at the flea market, so Saturdays just work best for me, and they also just generally seem to be the best day to have a garage sale or go garage sailing. There's the most going on. Now I'll start doing some research around the middle of the week, like Wednesday online, on sites like Craigslist or YardSaleSearch.com or GSailor, just to see if there's any like community sales or neighborhood sales going on over the weekend, and of course to see if someone posted, I have video games at my garage sale. Now, some tips based on those sites, especially for Craigslist: if someone does say they're going to have games at their sale, you're going to be going up against a decent amount of competition, because anyone that has logged onto that site and is searching for video games at a garage sale has probably seen that post and is either trying to contact them online or will be there, early in the morning, an hour before that sale even opens. So when you see a posting like that, I'm not saying ignore it, obviously. Write down the address, try to contact them if they have a contact, email section on that site, and ask, hey, what type of games you have, or would you mind setting them aside for me? It's definitely worth a shot, but for me, I haven't had the best luck in sales that have actually posted, we have video games. Like I said, because you're just going against everyone else that's also looking for games. I have had better experience with sales that have posted, a topic like having a multi-family sale, or we are selling, kids items, toys, electronics, games, things like that. Nothing that specifically states video games. I've actually found it to, be a better experience and have better luck going to those sales. Now, I actually also don't really fully rely on looking online for garage sales. I will do a lot of just freestyle driving around, looking for signs in my area. As I mentioned, I live in Florida and we have good weather all year round, and that means there's normally garage sales going on. So it's not hard for me to just sort of drive in certain directions and find sale signs that I can just sort of follow, and they sort of lead one to another. Basically, I recommend trying to go to the most compact, most densely populated neighborhoods in your area, and try to stay local. I personally don't drive very far. Even if I see a posting online that says, we have old games or anything like that, because say if I drove very far, half hour, 45 minutes, and get to that sale and all the games suck or they've all been sold. I've spent 40 minutes trying to get there, and now if there's no other garage sales in that area, I have to drive all the way back to my area where I know it better, and I know the more populated communities. So it can be definitely a time waster. So I try to recommend stay in your area and where you know. It's also a good gas saver as well. So at the end of the day, if you haven't found a lot, you also haven't spent 15, 20 bucks on gas. The number one thing that I look for when searching for sales online is community and neighborhood sales. I have always had good luck at community sales, and honestly, it's not luck, it's all a numbers game. It's just how many houses you can get to in a day will better your odds of actually finding something. So if I see a posting online for a community sale that's supposed to have 20 or 50 or even 100 homes taking part in it, I will definitely go there. And yes, you will be going up against a lot of other people that have the same idea that you do. Hey, lots of sales in a small area, sounds good, but as long as they're not, postings that say, we have video games, like I mentioned before, the odds of finding stuff are just going to be as good as anyone else because you don't know what they're going to have. You could go to 10 houses on one street that absolutely have nothing, and then turn around the corner and the next street has 10 houses that they all have something. So I definitely recommend if you see a community sale, go check it out. And you got to get there early, though, because you are going to be going up against a lot of other people. Now, you also have the advantage of you can get out of the car even sometimes and just walk down the road if there's enough sales going on, on the same street or the same block. And that way you're also not wasting gas, you're not constantly parking and having to get out. So it can be beneficial in that sense and a little bit of exercise as well. Now, like I mentioned, getting there early is definitely a key. I normally leave my house when I'm going out to go to garage sales at like 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 at the very latest. And that's because there seems to be a sweet spot between 7 and like 9 in the morning of actually finding really good stuff. And that's because, a lot of sales are starting about that time. 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning seems to be the start time for most. And the later in the day it gets, the less chance you actually have of finding stuff because more people are now going out and looking for things. So if it's like 11 or 12, I'm not saying you can't find anything because I have found cool stuff even up to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but the chances are going to be slimmer. So try to get up and get out as early as you can. Now, once I actually make it to the garage sales, usually the first thing I'll do is right off the bat, ask if they have any video game related items. That way they can direct me right to where they are, or if there are none out, they can, go in their house and get them, or in their garage, or they can say, oh, we have a stockpile of them in our shed and we just didn't pull them out because we didn't think anyone would care. So it definitely saves time. If I'm looking around for 3 or 4 minutes at their sale and they don't have anything, and then I ask only to find out, no, we've never even heard of video games, I've basically wasted that 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm trying to personally get to that next sale as quick as I can to hopefully find something. If you are looking for more than just video games, obviously then you're going to want to look around, but for me that's not my goal. Now if I ask and they say no, I'll usually try to word it a different way. Maybe if they say no, we don't have any games, I'll say, oh, you don't, nothing old or nothing handheld, and you might actually be surprised how many times of just kind of wording it differently or making like a hand gesture, going like handheld, and they go, oh yeah, we have Game Boys. It's like, well, why didn't you consider those video games? Maybe because they were thinking that you were only looking for newer things like Xbox 360 or PS3 or something, and they weren't considering, our 20-year-old games were going to be interesting to you. So you got to kind of word it as many different ways as you can, obviously without being like rude or just asking 40 different, times, because being courteous and polite and having a good speaking voice is definitely a plus when you're on someone's private property and you're at their house and you're trying to get stuff from them, especially if it's not even out. If it's in their house, you have to kind of like smooth talk, and maybe if they weren't interested in selling it on the first time you asked, if you sort of conversate with them a little bit, you could get them to bring it out, and that's worked for me in the past. It's all about just being polite and nice and not taking the first no. Now also, it's good to sort of get a feel on anyone that's actually a part of that garage sale. trying to ask loud enough where everyone could hear, "Hi, do you guys have any video game related items?" and actually look around to see what the reaction is. Because sometimes, especially if you only ask one person, they might just say, "No, we don't." And then someone else off to the side might actually have games that they were kind of thinking of selling, but they didn't put out or they didn't let anyone know. So it's always good to, ask a little bit, more than one person, especially if there's kids there, because sometimes the kid will be like, "Oh, I could sell something and make a couple dollars? Awesome! Here, I'll get rid of my Pokemon games." So try to ask as many people as you can at the sale without, coming off as like too pushy or anything, because it's all about being nice and as kind as you can. Now, you don't necessarily have to get out at every garage sale. Sometimes, especially if a sale clearly just has like a card table with 2 or 3 items on it, and you don't see any game-related items, always ask though. Roll down the window, say, "Hey, look, you have any video games?" And you might be surprised, because the best things I have ever found at a garage sale were not out. They were in their house. So always ask. That's the #1 tip I can give you guys. Even if it's an 85-year-old woman that's selling yarn in her driveway, it doesn't matter. She might have a box of Super Nintendo crap in her garage, and if you didn't ask, then you just missed out on it. So that's definitely the #1 tip. Ask. One thing you might commonly hear at garage sales is, "Let me get your telephone number and I will call you later." Maybe they had some video games hidden somewhere and they don't know where they are right now, so they're going to look for them and try to contact you. Or maybe they're the only person at their sale, and they actually can't physically go inside the house and get them. So it's always good to, at the very least, leave your phone number. Try to include what you're looking for, like, in your name. So if you're writing it down, say, "Scott Video Games." Well, say your name, don't say my name. Or actually, say my name and put my telephone number down. But no, seriously, put your name, put what you're looking for, and your telephone number. And personally, I have not had the best luck with people calling me back. Yes, I have had people call me back and I've been able to pick up things, but I would say it's like 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10 times it actually happens. So I usually try to either have the person meet with me that day. Maybe they can't get to it right now, but I'm like, "Hey, Saturday is my day to garage sale, it's my day off, so if there's any way we can meet up later today, I am free." Try to make it as clear as you can that, if you are available, let them know that they can call you whenever, they can text you, you're able to come back, and get the stuff if they have it. Because the farther away from the sale, that time when they're in that selling mode, the farther away it gets, the less likely they're going to either remember, maybe they threw away that damn paper, they can't even find it that had your name on it, or they're just out of that selling mode and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy wanted me to dig out the video games. Shit, I don't want to do that." I've had that happen quite a few times because I have gotten the phone numbers. Sometimes it's a good idea to try to ask, "Can I get your phone number since I'm giving you mine?" And a lot of times people will be like, "Yeah, sure." Sometimes, they'll kind of be like, "No, that's okay. I'll just call you." But, try to get their phone number. And I have called them before when I haven't heard from them in like a few days or a week, and they go, "Oh yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it," or "I've been busy." It's because, honestly, they're out of that selling mode. So if you can kind of convince them at least in the same day, or maybe in like the same hour, to actually maybe go pull those games out, you're going to have a better chance of actually getting them that day. All right, say you found something really cool. Maybe it's a large lot of games or one really rare item, and you're ready to try to make a purchase. If the item already has a price sticker on it, you at least know where to begin. If it doesn't, let the seller make the first offer. That way you won't make the mistake of being too excited and saying, "I'll give you $20 for it," and the seller in their mind is thinking, "Shit, I would have been happy with 10. You can always make a counter offer from their original offer, or if their first price that they say is totally fine with you, then there you go. Now, you're at a garage sale, and at garage sales or swap meets or flea markets, it's usually safe to try to, bargain, try to make a lower offer. People usually don't get pissed. You might run across a few people that are like, "No, these are my set prices." But in general, you can usually make some sort of deal or a bargain. I've almost always been able to at least get a few bucks off their original price. A quote that another well-known YouTuber by the name of Craigslist Game Finds always says, these people, they are having garage sales because they want to get rid of crap that is in their house or their garage. It's shit to them most of the time that they just don't want anymore. So they're looking to get rid of it at pretty much any damn price that will get it out of their house. So doing bargains, bundling, getting a lower price is usually not that hard. So like I said, let the seller make the first offer, but kind of always have in your head that these people don't want this crap and they're not selling it on eBay. They haven't taken the time. They just want you to cart it off of their lawn. So know that you could probably get it maybe for a couple bucks cheaper. It's definitely good to have friends that are also going to garage sales and picking up games, because maybe they're making it to sales that you didn't get a chance to go to, and if they find some stuff that maybe they're not actually looking for to add to their collection, you guys can trade back and forth between each other, or you might be able to just purchase items directly from them at really low prices, since hopefully, obviously, you're going to garage sales and getting this stuff for really low prices. I have a friend, Frank, who does the same thing I do, and he sort of has his designated area, and most of the time I'll just stay out of that area because I know he's covering that ground and he's looking for some specific things. And then if I happen to go to another part of the town and I find some stuff, we can just trade back and forth, or we can sell back and forth, and it's very beneficial. For instance, I had an extra top loader NES system that I honestly paid just a few dollars for, and he had a rare Hori GameCube controller that he had paid a few bucks for, and we basically just did a direct swap. So we each essentially only paid a few bucks for items that were almost $100 a piece. Now, maybe you don't have a friend locally that's into going to garage sales, but communities like YouTube or other websites can be definitely a great place to maybe meet up and just conversate with people and do some trades or sales in that sense. I know there's a lot of groups on Facebook that also do that as well. So trying to get a little bit of a network, or just a few personal connections that you can kind of unload and then add things to your collection at the cheap and at the easy is very beneficial. Alright, to wrap this video up, let's kind of cover the basics. Try to get up as early as you possibly can so you can get out to as many sales as you can. Remember, it's not about luck, it's just how many damn places you can get to in the day to possibly find something. Ask at every single sale, do you have any video games? It's the best things I've ever found were not out. They were in their house somewhere. So always ask. Try to connect with some people in your area that are into the same stuff as you. Even if maybe you can't find someone, check online, check on YouTube. Doing trades and sales has been a great way for me over YouTube to get rid of items that I had and acquire things for my collection. And basically, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate any comments you guys leave below. Please thumbs up the video because it definitely helps, and I appreciate it very much. And let me know, like I said in the beginning, any tips that you might have or things that work for you in your area. Leave them in the comments section down below. I'm actually going to make a little playlist. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I'm going to do like a best of garage sale finds playlist on my channel. And even if you've been a viewer of my channel for a while, maybe there's an older video from a year or two ago that you missed. So check out that playlist. I'm going to add it hopefully before this video is even up. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace!